I think that I need to make a distinction between subjectivity and objectivity, which is the most nerdiest thing on the planet, but I think that the overall game of the year, if you were going to tot up the amount of things that it goes for and how well it does them, I think the game of the year is Sekiro. Because, like I said, the combat model is so tight, the things that they do, that From Software do with the parrying system, it's such a well-designed game. I know it's brutally hard, Ash Millman, but I think it earns it, and I think that when you finally surmount that level of challenge and you beat the likes of Ginashiro or Ishin the Sword Saint, the final boss, things like that, that's the most euphoric I've been all year in terms of like, oh my god, I really climbed the rocky stairs and I danced at the top beating this thing. But also, like that, that will be my whole objective measure of like, what does it set out to do and whatever. If I'm going to go full on subjectivity, it's Devil May Cry 5, because I didn't think that we would ever get that again. I thought in 2013 when they did the whole soft reboot weird thing when Ninja Theory took over and they redesigned Dante and all that kind of stuff, I initially hated that because I was like, what the hell are you doing? Where is the Dante that I know and love? And then 6 years later, we got the original team going back and just completely just ignored that even happened and just said, look, this is the sequel to DMC4 that you always wanted, and it plays, it's easily the best character action game ever. Like, just anyone who wants to experience why that genre is one of the best in all the gaming, just play DMC5. The fact that you have like 4 completely different fighting styles that you can just swap between on the D-pad means that you get insane combos. It looks stunning as well, like easily one of the best looking games ever, and it just plays like liquid butter. I absolutely adore it. And Dante himself, they kind of redesigned him a little bit face-wise because they scanned the dude in. Dude just looks like Kurt Cobain. Like, he just looks like albino Kurt Cobain, which I'm loving. The music's great, Dante is great, V's great, the new character. The way that you play him is like unlike any other character that's ever been in an action game before. It's just stellar, all right? It's brilliant. And if I was going to throw one other thing in that I adored, it was Mortal Kombat 11's campaign, or story, which is just like a big old superhero-tinged extravaganza of superpowers and characters that I've grown up adoring. So yeah, Sekiro, DMC5, and Mortal Kombat 11.
My game of the year is pretty much already been spoken about because it's Planet Zoo and Resi 2, because they're just both bloody amazing games. I will reiterate about Planet Zoo, there's just that one button which is just warms your heart so much, and that's the release to the world. And it just, every single time I press it, I don't care about the money, I don't care about the conservation points. It's just, even though I know it does nothing but remove the animals from the park, it just fills my heart with so much love and warmth for these animals, and I bloody love animals so much. Resi 2 as well, because it was my second intro into the Resident Evil series. My first, funny enough, was actually Code Veronica X on the PS2.
Your first real experience.
Yeah, my first real experience. Yeah, I remember one point about Code Veronica X was that first time when you're walking up the staircase and your controller light starts vibrating towards in time with your heartbeat, and it really scared me as a kid. But going back to Resident Evil 2 remake, was just like, it just didn't feel anything like Resident Evil in a way. Like, it was absolutely brilliant. Like, sorry, I didn't mean that negatively. I meant that in like, in a fresh new spin on it. In 2019, essentially. Like, it controls really well, like, it's kind of expecting it not to. But I just love the whole puzzle aspect of it. And the fact that it's not, like, if you're not a fan of horror games, then it's kind of like on the border between not scary at all and, a few jump scares here and there just to, like, keep you on the toes and that sort of stuff. Like, it doesn't heavily explore those themes, but it's just, everything about it is just so brilliant. But my honourable mention will be going towards Jackbox 6, because everything about it is so good. They've got 4 new concepts, and then one which is Trivia Murder Party 2,
yes,
which expands on the original Trivia Murder Party, and it's just, yeah, it's brilliant. Especially role models, when you've got to put your friends into like different categories, and then you come up with like the list of their personalities after that. It's just brilliant.
When to play on the WhatCulture Gaming stream,
yes,
perhaps.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. Especially Joke Boat, because that's going to be brilliant.
Oh god, that's hilarious.
The game of the year 2019 is absolutely Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice. I will hear no other things said about it. Ash Millman, who's probably planning on dissing it next week. She has. Brilliant. Looking forward to watching that. Sekiro, I tell you what, right? I'll admit, I'm biased. I love From Software. I worship the ground that they walk on, and I flipping love Dark Souls, and I flipping love Bloodborne. So Sekiro was always going to be good, right? But I did sort of enter into it with a healthy dose of skepticism. I was a bit nervous about the sort of very Far Eastern setting. I'm not that big into samurais. I was just like, oh, I love more medieval, gothic kind of style from, you know, the previous games. So I was skeptic. I didn't go in there expecting to love it. But oh my God, did I love it. I loved every single second of the pain that game put me through. It is expertly crafted, it's fantastic. You have a wonderful sense of exploration, going around, finding all the shinies. It made me enjoy stealth, which is another thing I never really enjoy in games is stealth. But Sekiro like really got me into stealth, got me really enjoying like every single really visceral flippin' backstab with my Kusabi Maru. Was that what it was called? Oh, insert really impressive Japanese name. I don't think it was Kusabi Maru. What's the name of the sword?
Big sword.
Big sword. Yeah, very, very, very happy. It was a while ago I played Sekiro, in my defense. I think I will go back and replay it one day. The only gripe is that, like I said, it's not that replayable, but as far as like playing through it once, it is one perfect like package. It's got multiple endings, so you really feel like you are obviously taking on the role of Wolf Daddy, doing what Wolf Daddy wants to do. I chose to banish immortality, which was really heckin' cool. That took me across the mountains, took me to kill a giant fish, took me to kill a giant dragon. It was fantastic. It is this fantastic game that pushes you to the brink of wanting to quit and wanting to just sit in a puddle and cry, which I did. And then you just sort of take 10 minutes and rise above it and realize that you are flipping good at video games and you are the best and you can conquer it. And it's just the most amazing feeling. And it's Game of the Year, people. Game of the Year.
2019 was a bit of a sparse year for video games for me. I didn't really play that much, and that's because everything's come towards, there's every single year it does come towards the end of the year and then leaves you kind of like penniless and thinking, well, God, I spent all my money on video games, what do I do now? So I'm waiting until next year to play a bunch of the stuff that came out at the end of the year. But my game of the year, because one of the few that I actually play, is Jedi Fallen Order, which I thought was good, not amazing, but I did think as a Star Wars fan, I absolutely loved that game. And weirdly, it's not the Star Wars game I've played the most this year, even though I do love Jedi Fallen Order and I love what Respawn have done with that. With the Star Wars mythos, I think the story's incredible. I think the gameplay shows so much promise. It's actually Battlefront 2. I know that came out in 2017, and this is like talking about a game that's 2 years old, but it's had its big kind of revival this year. It was a massive comeback, and it's the game I've probably played the most this year, just actually hopping in and seeing what DICE have done to basically bring the most controversial release of this console generation back to a state of, you know, genuine quality. It's genuinely quite impressive and kind of rivals Rainbow Six Siege in terms of games that kind of released almost on arrival and then through, you know, years of kind of listening to community concerns and putting in new free content and updates into it, they've really brought it back, and it's such an enjoyable experience to hop on casually every night, just to have a play around in the Star Wars universe, and it's very, very pleasant. That's the only way I can really describe it. I think that there are certain issues with it. I know it runs kind of a bit dodgily sometimes, with Frostbite being frostbitey as it usually is. But overall, I think Battlefront 2, in terms of having that big comeback towards the end of last year and then really nailing the landing for the rest of this year, obviously more updates to come as well. Yeah, that's probably my personal game of the year. It's the one I've played the most, and I definitely enjoy it, so yeah.
See, I've been a very lucky Roy this year. There have been so many games that have just really done it for me. Like, we started January with Resident Evil 2 Remake. Oh gosh, and that was so great. And then we had Control midway through the year, like a massive surprise from Remedy, kind of like they had done it again. They gave me these nice little Alan Wake vibes, but you know, in a nice sort of like pseudo FBI building sort of environment. But really, it just came to it, Kojima's done it again for me. I haven't played a game like Death Stranding, I don't think ever, in the fact that it's just, at first I'll say, it's just such a fresh air, like breath of fresh air, not having to kill someone. I know you don't really do that in like a Mario or something like that, but this game is all about helping people and not about like trying to beat someone. Like, you're never trying to defeat, like, sure, you do encounter some sort of like situations where you gotta fight things, big blobby black like goo things sometimes, but for the most part, I played this game and just wanted to help everyone else around. Like, I spent God knows how many, like probably over like 10 hours just building things to make sure people that were coming up behind me or who were in the same sort of area as me could get these packages to where they needed to go. All the way from Lake Knot down to Egg Riot, I was like, I'm gonna make sure there's a system there so we can all get everyone through. And put that great groundwork, which you spend most of your time doing, with the weird cutscene nature of Kojima, like straight up, like Die Hardman. For the most part, he's just a generic quest giver. But I think in the end, Die Hardman, I can't really think of the actor's name right now, is probably one of the best performances I've ever seen in video games ever. Like seriously, though some of the closing like the back third of that game is so like rich in feels and character drama and everything that's going on. I was taken by that game for like a week. I think I played it for like 4 or 5 days and did 50 hours in it. I'm just like sitting there as Kojima's taking me away. And yeah, just Death Stranding. I wasn't expecting to say it. I thought it'd be Control or RE, but no, Death Stranding. I'm gonna stop ranting now. Mads is also really good.